Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. As I said, boy, this hour and a half is just moving right along here, and I'm just...
Oh, Mr. Blue, don't keep me waiting. I'm here to be on your show.
Well, I am, and
pleased to be on here.
yes. Well, again, I am not going to take up your time, Armlock, because it was me that importuned you.
You know, you're probably not aware of it, but this is one of my favorite Turkish songs.
What is this one called?
Rombi Rombi.
Rombi
Written by
Rombi?
Ali Bali.
Did you read that or make it up?
Both. I made it up, wrote it down, and then read it down to see.
I see.
Because I am the great Armlock Hertz.
You are.
So I need no introduction, don't bother. And yes,
let me just say this. I'm not going to take up your time with any long explanation.
don't waste it, please.
No, I won't. I won't. Because I'm the one, as I say, that cajoled and importuned to bring you back on so soon after your last visit when we ran out of time. And I'm afraid we only got about 15 or so minutes for you today, but as usual,
I want it if he continues in this manner. Bring my pistol. Yes. All right. Well, okay, go on.
What we have you on the show for, as you well know, is we want you to.
The game is afoot, as we say.
The game is afoot, and
why? I've never said that.
By the way, let me just.
I've never said that.
You've never said that.
Well, I've said it now, but I never said it previously.
No, it's very much like the Cary Grant, Judy thing. That actually you've never said.
No, but I have said Judy.
That's very interesting. One of the ironies of life.
Yes.
But anyways, the reason we brought you back so soon is because we didn't have enough time last time to discuss some of your great cases.
Oh, there wouldn't be enough time on.
No, there wouldn't be. No. We might even someday have a detective. I'm thinking about all detective shows.
Course, would be the culmination of all.
Perhaps we would have you on last. I'm not sure about the order yet. But Armlock, perhaps. I know you came prepared today because last time I caught you a little off guard, asking you questions about some of your famous cases. You didn't come with the proper documentation because, as you said, Watson does is your biographer. But I know you brought a lot of papers with you today, so I won't waste any of your time. Could you lay on us just? I know you brought several of your great cases.
Papers here.
Yes. Well, you are shuffling through them. Yes, thank you.
Right here, we can read.
Yes. Just what? Could you give us some of your best cases? I know you had a chance to look at them now.
Oh well, yes. Okay. Now that we've got.
And of course, I have some favorites of my own, but.
What is that beeping? Did you forget that again?
No, I didn't forget it. It's fine.
Be careful, because the revolver is in Watson's pocket.
I like the alliteration of it. But, well, anyways, Armlock, please, some of your cases. Could you start off with maybe one that was very bizarre?
The adventure. Let's see, the adventure of the dustman's pocket. The dustman's pocket.
The dustman?
Oh, yes.
The dustman.
Quite, yes.
The dustman's pocket.
Yes, very interesting, very interesting.
Well, what was that?
I don't want to get into it right now.
You don't want to get into that?
All right.
But just tell us a little bit about, what was the plot of that?
It's centered around a lump of coal. I think you can determine
a lump of coal? The dustman?
And Santa, and well, I think you can infer the rest from that. Yes. This is another one of my favorites. What is that?
What is this? I know you're an expert on
this.
This
one now, the great violinist, Fayek Rakimina.
That's
who's playing the violin.
What's the name of this tune again?
Sally.
Yeah, I do. I remember the song and her. But anyways, Armlock, please, could you tell us a little bit about the dustman's pocket?
That's it. You want to hear about? Well, of course I can tell
just a little bit. Just a little bit about it. You say it was very bizarre, and
that involves Santa and the lump of coal, and
what exactly how does the dustman look into it?
Well, he was the one that found it.
He found the coal?
Picked it up, put it in his pocket, and it was a deviling case, I must say.
Well,
quite an interesting little problem.
Skipping over that, since we're in a very strange part of the world right now, very tied into mysterious happenings.
Yes, well, the Turkish, many tobaccos have studied their tobaccos.
Yes, but what about the Egyptians, though? Because we find ourselves in Egypt today.
Yes, well, they have their tobaccos as well.
Yes, now,
the water pipes,
have you had any...
It is...
you say?
I'm serious.
That was a tribute to Benny Hill, ladies and gentlemen. But anyways, Now but seriously, Armlock, have you ever had a case in this area? in this
Yes,
in this part of the
I
world?
followed a few down here.
Enumerate a couple of those.
The case of the munificent mummy.
Munificent?
Yes, mummy is terrible.
Mummy, what was that about? Munificent mummy.
There's no such word as munificent.
I'm not sure. I didn't know it had something to do with the city, or is that something that's generous? I'm not sure. What exactly? But how did that work out exactly? What was the idea behind that?
Well, it had to do with young King Smut.
King Smut. I've heard a little bit about him from the mayor, a.k.a. Colonel
Yes, the problem was basically they were trying to. They do it now. How can we say it? It's so strange back then to actually to limit what he could say to his.
Who? King Smut?
Yes.
Oh, the censor.
Yes. Well, yes. I guess it wasn't quite the same then, but yes, I guess censor would be the
and
same. Because the things he painted on his pyramid were quite obscene.
Oh, something in the hieroglyphics then was
yes.
was not quite right.
Yes, definitely. They weren't pyramids so much as maybe cylindrical in shape.
I see. But how did it come to be called the
well, there was a
Munificent?
tomb robbing. Many people died, and there was a great trail of destruction, and the rubies, of course. I probably should mention that because some of them are still out there.
Rubies are still missing.
Yes.
I see. So you never really solved the case of these.
I solved who was behind it, but as far as the
you never able to claim all the booty then.
You Americans have a very crude way of speaking.
I got that from King Smut. But anyways, well, Armlock, you got a couple of your cases in. Let me ask you about a case that as I was coming over in the plane, one of the few guests that I did know would be on the show, of course, today was you, because I had, as I said...
so you were looking up some of my cases?
I was, yes. I was reading over a few, yes.
You didn't put your pistol away, Watson. I think it's Watson,
And one case that really was just ever so strange, especially, at least in the title, and of course it's escaping me now, I've been so surprised today and so as Colonel would say, bedeviled by problems here. The case, I believe it was the case.
That's the one with the bachelor?
I think it was.
Did it involve a bachelor?
Yes. Wait a minute, but I think it was...
There's so many bachelor cases. Which one was it you were thinking of?
The case of the single guy with...
Wasn't that starring...
with the broken wrist. Remember that? It was a very long title. That's the first thing I started about it.
It was very unfortunate for him, too.
I see. So it was that type of situation. The thing about it that struck me was it was such a long title. That's why.
That's for such a short mystery.
So it didn't last very long, the mystery or the action. You're saying?
Either one with the wrist, it was much he could do.
Well, okay. Okay, taking care of that case. Rick, could you give us, I'll tell you what, we only got so much time. Could you lay a few honest, recently, when we saw you last, we were in Tokyo, as you know. You were in Tokyo as well.
The illiterate Nobel laureate, remember that one?
The illiterate?
Yeah, very disgusting.
But definitely kind of a, what would we call that, a
breeze. It was a breeze for me, I'll tell you that. It was very interesting. We had to find the man, of course, and it was very easy.
Sort of a semantic non sequitur, though, wasn't it?
That's another one of my cases.
The
anti-Semitic non sequitur.
I see. Well, that's a hell of a case there. But you see, the case was the illiterate Nobel laureate.
There was the case of typhoid fever. I remember that one.
Again, we've talked about that before. Actually, let's right up with the case of glazed donuts and all the rest of those, and Jenny Cream. But can you tell me just a little bit more about the illiterate Nobel laureate?
Rather not, because if you knew who it was.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you, This is so exciting.
Yes, indeed, and as well it should be.
Now, I know when we saw you in Tokyo, you were involved, of course, with that case with the Yakuza and the Blackfoot situation that you couldn't talk about. Have you been able to wrap that up?
Yeah, we have wrapped it up, and as a matter of fact, well, it wasn't I that actually wrapped it up. We had to go to a podiatrist.
Yeah, it was a kind of sprained ankle kind of situation, yeah.
He wrapped that case up.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, with an ace bandage, I suppose, something like that.
Yes, of course.
Of course. You want to buy the cheap ones. But Armlock, let me ask you about one more case that always puzzled me. And in fact, I was discussing it with Diz on the way over.
Some of my best cases have been in the fog, and I love London, you know. So if it's one of those cases that you...
Well, it is.
I brought Toby along with me that time. I know you must be speaking about it.
Well, yes. The one remember what I'm talking about? The one with this place in the circus, though. Do you remember that?
Yes.
What was that?
Elephantine.
Exactly. That's it.
The case of the elephantine midget. Yes.
Again, the semantic non sequitur comes to mind.
Yes, but I'll tell you this case. There was a man billed, but he ended up missing. But he was billed as the world's tallest midget.
Very.
Yes, very.
Was he indeed the world's tallest midget?
Actually, he was the world's shortest giant.
You
see,
he made a mistake.
Yes, very.
Just an Asian had made a mistake, in other words.
Yes, and very hard, but we had to find that out.
Very subtle, though. I can see how it could get mixed up if you had like two acts, and one was the world's tallest midget, one was the world's shortest giant. Yeah, that's just true. I guess. I mean, it sounds like that's right. Anyway, the more I think about it, perhaps it's not. But
then the more you think, the more befuddled you seem to become.
I think you're right. Especially with this crew. And so that's what it was about. Now it was about a man that started off as the world's tallest midget,
but was improbably billed as the world's shortest giant. Then, and what happened? I had to find him.
And this was the case of the
elephant. He disappeared, but of course he disappeared for personal problems. I won't. Well, I shouldn't say I won't get into it, because you'll know eventually you'll just wheedle it out of me. I am Armlock Hertz, but I do have a certain ego, and I...
Well, how were you able to solve it then? Were you able to finally get him a building that fit,
Well, yes, we did. I believe he was the plain old average guy.
So, he ended up being right about 5'12". 5'12"?
5'12". You see, and I don't know in your country, but that would be 6 feet
around here, yeah.
He weighed about 3 stone.
That's metric. 3 stone only?
Very thin.
Very thin.
Well, they were big stones.
Well, I'm just saying. So he was about 3 stone, you say. My God, I think he might have been the world's smallest midget then.
No, he was the world's... Well, he was married to the world's skinniest fat woman, and that was,
I see.
I guess, a very interesting case.
And that was a very strange circus, as I remember, because they also had the world's hairiest bald man. Whatever bald man is.
I haven't the slightest idea what you're speaking. I thought you were talking about Harry. I thought you were talking about Harry S. Baldwin, who is a man that I've known for years. In fact, he's my butcher.
Butcher?
Yes, my butcher, Harry S. Baldwin.
We're doing a fine job on the
Harry S. Baldwin, I see.
I see. And they also had the words...
your elocution needs something to be desired. Although you're very good at grammar.
The world's most musical tone-deaf person was in that circus, too, wasn't it?
I think, what is his name? He's from my country.
Joe Trunzo?
No, that's from your country.
Oh, sorry.
I'm talking about this fellow that la 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 la.
Oh yes, Bill Collins. Yes.
There he is.
Most musical tone-deaf person.
His mother, Joan?
Joan Collins, exactly. What other acts were in that circus? Do you remember? Because it was a very
strange circus indeed.
Oh yeah.
Oh. The pencil neck geek. Do you remember him? Fine. Well, but I digress. I don't.
You digress on that one. Yes, you do.
In fact, I have been having problems with
as far as you could digress. I know there was the world's most conservative Democrat was on that show in that circus for years. And
anyway, enough about you.
Look, before we go, Before we go, you gotta.
Are we going somewhere?
Well,
I'm staying
you
here.
know, I
like being
feel
on the show. You know,
I like
don't
having you
get
on
enough
here.
credit.
You don't. But let me say this: I feel so bad about the fact that I feel like I'm always rushing you off. But
well, I have cases to work on.
you do have cases, and for you, the game is always afoot. And
is.
yes,
Even if it's a black foot.
Exactly, because you've
Wrapped
never
in
shown
lace
any.
bandage. I know it all.
You've never shown any change with black foot, white foot, yellow foot. You've always said. Except that time that the guy Sugarfoot bothered messed with you. Remember that?
Yes, I remember that show.
Exactly. But anyways, lay one more final case on us, and then we got to get out of here and go to Marv's Corner because he's got some special guests today.
The case of the snoozing cat.
The snoozing cat.
And it wasn't what happened. It was the case that the cat was snoozing. I said, you remember when the final combination of that case, and they said, I said, notice the one fact, the snoozing cat. And they said, well, what of it? I said, the fact that he was snoozing. Of course, you must. Well, I won't get it.
So you say that was the case of the snoozing.
Why did he snooze? Because he knew and felt comfortable with the killer. That's why. Any other time you step on a cat's tail, you would have been out of there. Would have squawked and awakened everyone.
Well, you've got a point.
That's well.
It's too heavy for us here. It really is. That's almost cosmic. Armlock, it's been a pleasure.
He is one of my favorite comedians.
Who's that?
Bill.
Bill Cosmic. Yes.
Yes.
I think a Cosmic Topper somehow or other. But anyways, Armlock, it's been a pleasure having you on.
Yes.
I'll tell you.
Watch it.
I know you're not going to be able to. I know it would be stupid of me to ask you to be.
Call me handsome. You're handsome. I didn't mean that, you idiot.
I know it would be stupid of me to ask you to be on the next show, but I'll tell you what I am going to do. Maybe on one of the next couple shows.
I may appear.
If you can find your way back, because really your cases, I admit, of all the people we've had on here that have entered into the, as I've said, the annals of criminism, you were one of the top, and...
well, thank you. I think I am the top.
Okay. I thought you were going to do something with annals of criminism, but I wasn't sure.
That's been done many times on
That's
the show.
been done, but not by you, as you've said that, too. But anyways, Armlock, again, please, the next few shows, you got to come back, and this time bring your Watson can come, and since he's the biographer, he should be able to enumerate your cases. And I know I don't want to trouble your mind with
maybe sometime I'll just send him. If I'm on the case, I might.
That might be a greater pleasure. Armlock.
Thank you very much. But I'll tell you, I may never ever come on this show again.
Please. That was just a little aside there. I felt I haven't offered the audience enough.
I'm going to push you aside as I walk out the door.
I was just trying to offer the humor, just a little bit of sarcastic humor, as it's so popular in the States nowadays. But anyways, Mr. Hertz, maybe next time or the time after we'll have you back, and you and Watson can be my guest.
Fine, and
thank you.
I'll trash my rooms out.
We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen, with today's edition, the Egyptian edition, by the way.
The game's over, Watson. Quit.